Schalk is a freelance consultant and he's going to give tomorrow a talk here. What are you going to be talking about?
About idiomatic Gradle plugin writing.
Yeah.
We find there's a lot of plugins being written for Gradle, but what we don't find today is any consistency in the way that actually authors write those plugins. And one of the things I'm actually trying to do is to present some idioms by which you can write consistently. And I will cover quite a number of things, from the basic, simple kind of things like how do you handle files, because for instance file collections is one of the most important things you do in Gradle, or collections of strings. So I will start with things like that and just show the standard things that I think that you should do. You might think it's very simple, but the most important thing about actually writing a Gradle plugin is to present a very, very good DSL back to the user, and that's the person who's actually going to use and write the script using your plugin. So you don't want to confuse them, and you don't want to present anything in there that's actually going to come as a surprise. So we like to have that kind of consistency, and that's the main focus. So we're going to cover that, plus a much more technical things, except the files and strings that we've mentioned. I will look at ways of actually extending existing tasks when you cannot write just another task, when you have to hook into a current task that somebody's already written from another plugin. A good way to do that and yet keep your consistency. And then another thing is, for instance, to also look at how can you actually, for instance, do code generation. If you want to go beyond the standard kind of things that people use Gradle for, but you still want to do it in a very good and presentable way and a readable form. We'll actually do maybe an example like code generation, actually show you how you can actually write things around it. And I will also cover a couple of things that you need to know about different parts of Gradle, which you don't always directly find in documentation. It is there, but sometimes you have to read between the lines. And another kind of thing it also says, give you a couple of tricks that you can use, which you don't find in the documentation at all, things you find from reading the source code, and not everybody wants to do that. So it will give you a good kind of way just to be able to hopefully go back and even use the slides afterwards as a basic thing to work from. And all of this work I'm actually covering here is coming from a book that I'm actually writing on this topic, which I will actually help to further the kind of way we actually do Gradle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, you've been working in several projects, personal projects. You've mentioned before this one, Groovy VFS. What is it about?
Well, it's based upon another project called Apache VFS. It's really about accessing all kinds of different remote file systems, whether it's on the web, whether it's on FTP servers, etc. And that's actually all of the heavyweight powerlifting actually done by Apache VFS, but it presents not an easy paradigm to program in. So we've created a very, very simple DSL, which reads very easily and uses Groovy, and you can actually use it very easily. We've also added a plugin for it in Gradle as well, so you can very easily copy files from remote systems and put it into your build. And I'm currently actually working on extensions on that in Gradle as well, so that we can add a couple of very complex tasks in there. It's quite a difficult thing to master in this case, because we cannot use all the standard paradigms that's available in Gradle, but we still want to present an easy DSL. Now we've got it up to the level of beta, and I'm still not quite happy with it, and so that's why it hasn't gone actually to a full version, but version 1.0 should actually hopefully be out in the next month or so. Okay.
Well, we wish you lots of luck with your personal projects and with tomorrow's talk. Many thanks, Schalk.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.